This is your main event of the evening on Steel City Rumble 5.
This is it, Mark. This is for the title. This is for the game. James Walsh, California Mixed Martial Arts, 4-0, 125, Steel Warrior, Super Bantamweight Champion against Joey Valdes. He is an independent from Alton, Illinois, 2-1. He's the PKL Super Bantamweight Champion, but this is for the Steel Warriors belt.
Wow. So, with the Steel Warrior belt on the line tonight, Joey Valdes could walk out of here technically with 2 titles because the PKL belt is not on the line.
James Walsh in the flame shorts, Joey Valdes in the blue shorts.
Jay D'Amato brings these two to the center. They're going to touch gloves, and here we go, round 1. Walsh versus Valdes. They immediately go to the clinch, and
Valdes,
nice takedown by Valdes.
Valdes, beautiful takedown. He's attempting to pass the guard at James Walsh. James Walsh doing a very good job of preventing him from passing.
Valdes is going to use that right arm. He's going to rub it across the bridge of the nose, do whatever he can to try to smother Walsh out. But Walsh has got him in a decent guard. Good try by Valdes, trying to throw a couple shots to the head of Walsh.
Walsh trying to walk his legs up. If he can get that left leg up just over the right arm of Valdes, he's got a triangle.
Valdes has got himself some blue shorts on, of course. Walsh has got the mohawk. Great job by Matt Walsh holding off Valdes, but Valdes comes down with a couple of nice shots to the head.
Yeah, so far, James Walsh's mohawk actually holding pretty strong. We'll see what happens at the end of the first round. So James Walsh doing a good job of keeping Valdes from really passing and getting into a full mount or side control position.
Valdes has controlled Walsh up to this point, though. It doesn't seem like, of course, Walsh has been in the guard. He's been holding off Valdes, but Valdes looks like he's been working Walsh a lot more than Walsh has been doing anything to Valdes.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. Valdes just having the dominant position, the top position, and that's really what's playing into the minds of the refs right now.
Good job by James Walsh wrapping those legs and locking them, not allowing Valdes to really get too much, trying to get too much area between the two of them so he can throw any elbows or punches.
Yeah, but James has the ability to put on an arm bar. Notice how he's got both his legs wrapped around the left arm. I'm sorry, wrapped around the right arm. All he's got to do is jerk it out now and turn him over. But look at this. Joey Valdes, finally somebody using a lot of knees while their opponent is on the ground, using those knees in the midsection. But they're not affected. Look at it. They're not affecting Walsh at all. Walsh doing a very good job of staying calm and poised.
To Walsh's defense, when you're in the middle of a match like this, sometimes you're just not thinking of the move that's the most obvious, hanging right there in your arms. It just doesn't always happen that way. Great job by Valdes, still throwing those huge right and left knees to the side of Joe Walsh, or to James Walsh, and this is going to eventually make Walsh loosen up. You can already see Walsh's side starting to redden.
Yeah, 10 seconds left in this first round. And, Mark, this has not been disappointing yet so far.
There wasn't a lot of what we would consider hardcore action in that first round between Walsh and Valdes. Who would you give that first round to, Andy?
You got to give it to Valdes. Valdes was on top, pretty much controlled where this match wanted to go, and he did what he wanted to do. He wanted to keep him down. Obviously, James Walsh, the without a doubt favorite of the crowd right now.
They come out round 2, Walsh Valdes, and Valdes and Walsh immediately, once again, Valdes takes Walsh to the ground, into the guard.
Yeah, Valdes trying to do everything he can to get past the guard of James Walsh. James Walsh has a very good guard.
Yeah, he's done a great job.
He's got an arm again, and he lets it go.
He had that arm. He dangled it out there. He was getting ready to take it, but obviously Valdes had other ideas.
Push the other arm down.
I think the reason why Valdes is really taking James Walsh down to the ground so much is because James Walsh has got very dangerous kicks.
Yeah. Walsh is not a champion for nothing.
And neither is Valdes.
D'Amato, the ref, telling these two men if they don't do some action, he's going to stand the two of them up. We got second round action at the Steel City Rumble 5. Valdes versus Walsh for the title.
You know, it's interesting. If the ref stands these two up, that may play better to Joey Valdez's, even though he doesn't want to stand up with James Walsh. If he's able to keep taking him down like he has been, except for now, look at this. James Walsh in a triangle. Not very tight, but he is just throwing blows to Valdez's head.
And that's a great idea by James Walsh. Way to go. Way to turn this situation around. Even though you've been on the ground the whole time, you're throwing big shots to the head.
Exactly, but Valdes just goes right into side control.
Elbow to knee. Bump, James, bump.
Like I was saying, if the ref stands these two up, it may actually play into Valdez's role just because Valdes has been taking James Walsh down so quickly.
Valdes works himself out of guard and into a side control. He's trying to get them out. If Walsh can buck, that would be a great move right now. And wow, he goes for a quick move.
Yeah, Valdes went for a full mount, but he goes right into a half guard to James Walsh. Very good move by Walsh to prevent him getting into a full mount.
These two are not allowing either one of these guys to get the upper hand on each other. It's not happening tonight. Not when the title's on the line. Valdes backs off very quickly while in the half guard and tries to throw a couple of headshots, missing both of them, and Walsh brings him right back in.
Come on, James.
Yeah, Walsh has got a very good guard, very good half guard. Look at how he's taking Joey Valdez's leg and just straightening it out, preventing him from really being able to do anything and pull it out. Every time Joey Valdes tries to get his right leg out of James Walsh's half guard, he just straightens it right back out.
Great job by James Walsh. You got 10 seconds left in the second round in this title bout. And there it is. There's the bell.
And
second round is in the books, Andy.
Yeah, and again, I'm going to have to give this one to Valdes just because he controlled where the match was. I mean, just take a look at the replay, and this is where James Walsh was really pounding on Valdes, but he couldn't finish it. He couldn't lock the triangle in.
Getting ready and prepared for round 3 of Walsh-Valdes. Unfortunately, Valdes has controlled the match itself. Super Bantamweight title on the line, Walsh versus Valdes. And we're going to see if they're going to keep this on the feet or if they're going to go to the ground again.
Valdes immediately takes him down, rolls him over, and gets on top.
We've seen this 2 rounds in a row. That's exactly how both rounds have started.
Exactly, and that just goes to show Valdes does not want to stand with James. Valdes does not want to stand with Walsh.
Unfortunately, it's worked to Valdez's advantage.
It has.
Punch him, James.
Nice job. Way to use those heels. Trying to work on getting a Charlie horse to the back of the thigh of Valdes. Walsh doing a great job using those heels. And
yes,
now, basically, Valdes is just going to walk Walsh around. He's just going to grind him into the mat. And if he can get him up against the cage, that could be a bad position because if he can get any bridge time between the two of them, he can ground and pound on him.
Yeah, and the ref, Jay D'Amato, again, saying if you don't improve, I'm going to stand you up. But he worked it right into a triangle.
He's got a triangle in.
Let's see if Valdes can get out of this triangle.
He's trying to get it locked in.
Pop the arm
Walsh
over your head, James. Pop it over your head. Come on.
Joey Valdes doing a great job of preventing that triangle from getting locked in.
Using those knees once again. The only person we see use those knees extremely effectively when trying to keep off his competitor.
Exactly. And what Valdes is doing is
There, pull on the head.
Valdes, James Walsh is actually looking to pull in his leg and really get that triangle good, or he's looking to possibly pop his left leg over the head of Valdes to get an armbar in.
Armbar that. Armbar it.
Yeah, if he can get that arm out of there so that he can just relax on it, he might be able to pull him into a strong armbar and really take care of business here on Valdes.
James, Kimura it. Kimura it.
Good job by Valdes. Still not allowing Walsh to get the upper hand on him.
Yeah, even though Valdes has been in the triangle most of this round, honestly, just being on top and throwing these lefts and rights, I don't know, man. I don't know who to give it to. James,
it's been very even this entire round so far.
Yeah, Walsh is letting up on a triangle that he's got.
Come on. Grab it.
Walsh's corner calling for a Kimura. Another great
nice
knee
by
by
Valdes.
Unbelievable.
And another one. And those are the knees that I'm talking about. Every time I say when you have a downed opponent, that's what you need to do. And look, a knee to the back, another knee to the back. Valdes doing an excellent job with his knees, doing an excellent job on the ground. And that might be Walsh's first round.
Exactly. Walsh did a great job once again of holding off Valdes.